Bratmore gang, in this video, I'm going to be digging deep into Jeffrey Epstein's secret girlfriend. Okay, that sounded a bit crazy, but I'm going to do it, okay? I'm going to be digging very, very deep into this woman who allegedly inherited tens of millions of dollars from Epstein's estate after he died. Allegedly, this was the woman who he made his last phone call to while he was alive, when he lied to the feds and he said, I'm making a phone call to my mother, and they didn't check that his mother had been deceased for years. This secret, undocumented, unrecorded phone call on a secure line was apparently to this woman, and there's a whole bunch of theories about how she might have been involved. There's theories going around that she might have been scouting for new girlfriends for Epstein on trips all around the world. And she's just out here walking around. There's rumors that she might be willing to do an interview soon. Other people are saying that that's cap. But in this video, I'm going to do a long deep dive into everything to do with her. Who am I talking about? This broad. Epstein and his girlfriend, Karina Shuliaak. Okay. I've got a whole bunch of links about her. I'm going to break it all down in this video. I'm going to look at other videos people have done, articles, Reddit posts. I got the goods. I got absolutely everything on this chick, okay? Nobody is safe, all right? And she should definitely be worried. For everyone saying Epstein was putting on all these different men, he was fixing women for these different powerful men. Well, that's all well and good, okay? And there does need to be justice. But I want to know about this chick, his girlfriend, his young girlfriend. She was of age. She's of age in this picture. Don't be fooled, okay? Don't worry. But I want to know what she had going on. It's these depraved, disgusting individuals like this that prop this man up, okay, whilst he was doing these despicable things with underage minors. Likely, in my opinion, knew about what was going on. In my opinion, enabled what was going on. So this is Epstein and his girlfriend, Karina Shuliaak, okay? This is going around 2 months ago in the Epstein subreddit. But don't worry, we got pictures of her face. It's coming. It's all coming. Don't worry. It's all coming. All right? Nobody's safe. And what's really interesting, okay, basically people saying this is likely to be her because of her length, body type, choice of wear as a hairband, and there were other pictures that seemed to involve her. There she is, face on display. Now, I don't mean anything by this, and I'm not trying to get sued, but I'm not going to lie. This is completely unrelated, but low-key, she does, in my opinion, she does actually bear a striking resemblance to Mr. Beast's girlfriend. Wait, look at this. Look, I'm not trying to get sued, all right, but just imagine she dyed her hair blonde, all right? Imagine she dyed her hair blonde. I don't know, man. I don't know. I want to know whether she changed her name and dyed her hair blonde. That is a joke. Okay, I'm joking. That is satire. All right, I don't want to get sued by Mr. Beast. I'm already on his radar after the last video I made about him. Okay, but I don't know. I just thought she had a striking resemblance to Mr. Beast GF, and you know, she probably is looking for a new powerful individual who has a hold of the youth. But anyway, obviously these aren't the same people. Don't let me get sued. But anyway, okay, that is a picture of her face. People saying she looks young. All right, she was slim and petite, but would have been in her late 20s. I believe she was 30 when she kind of got, exposed as being related to Epstein. People are saying, does anyone know what happened to this woman? It said she visited him in prison. I thought they said she was a dentist now. Oh, so she was the dental student. So she should be questioned about Jeffrey's multiple dentistry chairs in his different homes, right? Yes and yes. Okay. She just finished her residency at Columbia Dental School and graduated in May 2025. Now, interestingly enough, okay, this is just a link to basically like a group of graduates at Columbia Dental School. Is not really interesting. People are saying, well, this post isn't aging well, very well done. Karina is the next domino to fall and will be included in the DOJ's criminal charges upcoming. Yeah, I believe he was with her for a good while. Now, what's interesting, okay, I'm going to take you back, I'm going to rewind you back 6 whole years, okay, to a simpler time when this picture was going around 6 years ago in the Epstein subreddit, and the Epstein subreddit's been going strong for a minute. I'm not going to lie. I need a bit of Red Bull, okay? Says, what do we know about Epstein's 30-something-year-old girlfriend, Karine Shuliaak? She was the very last person to speak to him over the phone before his death. People saying saving this. I always find it interesting when someone close to Epstein hasn't been thoroughly investigated. If they're innocent, cool, but the likelihood of that is so low, with most that not investigating appears very suspicious. Okay. While with someone like him, I agree, there's little chance he'd be that close with someone and them not be aware. You do have to consider that people like Epstein use innocence to help play cover. They keep them close but never let them in fully, and that results in a false character witness. I'm not saying she was that kind of person, but after years of reading cases where people had no idea, it's possible that he did this with her. So he was saying Epstein had a long-term girlfriend I've never heard of. What? Says, I wonder what the term girlfriend meant to him. He wasn't the type to have long-term monogamous relationships. It says he did have a lot of girlfriends, the majority he remained close to and would try and help out in some way or another. I think he continued to try and help them so they wouldn't turn on him. But all the older women he associated with, and by older, I mean not teens, he would eventually help out, I assume when they were too old for him. If it was a career or a specific school they were interested in, he'd make it happen for them. If they were just interested in living a good life, he'd match them up with a rich man in hopes of marriage. Some suspicious deleted comments here, right? And also people reported seeing dentist chairs being removed from his place by the feds. Were they dentist chairs or were they other types of medical chairs? He was saying what she measuring in the picture looks like she's making an egg shape with her hands. Now, if you look closely, let me zoom in. Because I did think this was quite funny. When you actually look at the shape that her hands are making, it's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Are you doing a little... Don't screenshot this, right? Don't screenshot that and meme that, please. So yeah, basically people are wondering what the hell was going on with this, right? What the hell was going on with this mystery girl? What's she measuring in the picture? It says, I never heard of her until I read this post. I did some digging. She is guilty. Why isn't there more coverage or an investigation into her too? Let's expose her too. And this is basically a link to basically where she was actually registered as a practicing dentist in the British Virgin Islands. Okay, she's a dentist practicing on St. Thomas Island, Virgin Islands. Okay, now it's interesting that they're saying that she just passed medical school in the US in 2025. Epstein's been cold, dead in the ground in a spliff for 6 years. So, I don't know. Was she practicing some kind of illegal dentistry? Was she, I don't know. There's a whole bunch of Epstein subs here that I'm not part of. I need to go and join all of these immediately, by the way. And you should too. You should do that too. So, it says they described her as being obsessed with his dealings and like she would fit in here. Dentistry is the running sub-theme with Epstein. Oof, how jacked up were his teeth? Never mind, please don't answer that. Trying to eat lunch. Might explain why he had a dentist chair on his island, considering she is a dentist. People saying, pretty sure those weren't dental chairs. They've been described as esthetician chairs for facial procedures like massage, Botox, and electrolysis. Didn't Virginia Giuffre tell in one of her interviews that Epstein let the girl's teeth get bleached every once in a while? People saying, guilty how? I've only found vapid Daily Mail articles on her, and we'll get to those in a minute. I do have those in the files, all right? I've got my own Epstein files over here in another tab, and I will be showing you absolutely everything that I found. This guy's saying, I'm going to apologize ahead of time. I don't know this answer, nor have I seen it anywhere, but why did Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein break up? Is it because he got arrested or they had a falling out, which they had so much stuff on each other? I'm surprised about that. Did he find this new girl that's mentioned in the article? People are saying, personally, I don't think he and Ghislaine were ever really a couple. I think that was their cover story. I believe they were part of an intelligence operation and she was his handler. Many of the survivors have said that Ghislaine was actually the one in charge. Okay. Says, I wonder if the girl in the hoodie was Masha Drakova. Why? Who's that? His publicist or one of them. She's apparently famous back in Russia as the girl who kissed Putin. So, apparently, okay, according to a email that was leaked in the Jeffrey Epstein files, it's over here in the J-Mail files where they've essentially recreated all of the Jeffrey Epstein emails. I'm going to copy a name for a little bit of safekeeping in a minute. There is an email from 2011 where he apparently got an email from her basically rebuffing him and saying she didn't want to have anything to do with him. She thinks that he's basically not cool with what he has going on and that she can't get involved. Now, this is very, very interesting, right? Very, very, very interesting. So this is an email that she apparently sent to him and Jeffrey forwarded it to someone else saying, I guess she read the press. And in this, she said, hello, Jeffrey. And this is from Karina Shuliaak. Hello, Jeffrey. I'm sorry for taking your time, but there is something I have to tell you about. I'm glad that I had a chance to meet you, as I think you are a remarkable person, and it's good to know if there are still people in this world who help and care about others the way you do. Doesn't sound like the Jeffrey Epstein I've been reading about, but sure. And I feel grateful and I do appreciate the efforts you made to help me. I probably didn't seem that thankful to you, but honestly, I felt very confused about all the situation. I was considering about things a lot, and finally I came to the conclusion I simply could not accept your help due to some views which strongly stay in my mind, no matter how stupid it may look, but this is my choice. I wish you all the best, and I apologize if I wasted your time. So he forwarded that to somebody and basically said, I guess she read the press. And there was an unknown person that basically had messaged him. I guess that was at 8:22 a.m., April 4/20. A few days later, said, hi, big Min and do tonight, Min too, but only after 9:30 p.m. Me and Olga are going to Tribeca opening event. She can do tomorrow. Now, I've not tried this, okay? There's J Photos, J Drive, J Flights, and more. I've not had a good dig into this, to be honest. But I think it would be interesting. I wonder if we search her name in the Jeffrey Epstein email files, if anything interesting. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. I hadn't even planned to go through all of these. He's got... But you gave me money last time. Get your med money from blank, redacted name of a victim. She says, yes, I was there on T. Get your med... So he said to her, get your med money from blank. And she said, but you gave me money last time. And he said, okay. I guess she wanted that moolah, right? Forward travel arrangements for Karina Shuliaak traveling on August the 31st, 2012. Flights. Departs New York. Cape Air. Departs San Juan. Arrives at St. Thomas, the Virgin Islands. Flying her in. Flying around. All right. She locked in. 1 minute. 1 minute. You know. Doesn't want to accept the help. Next minute, she's involved. Should we just look at all of it? Should we just go through all of these? Have we got time to go through all of these? I could go through all of these. So that's the one where she basically says, I can't accept your help. That appeared to be after these. Oh, no, that was actually before. These aren't in order. Are these not in order? Can I put these in order? Not actually in order. Wait a minute. Wait, don't tell me there's 8,000 emails with her involved. Okay, there's 8,940 emails with his girlfriend involved. So you know what? I'm going to have to look into this. I'm going to need way more time to look into this. That's insane. Hi, Jeffrey. Would you please get a $5,000 Saks gift card? Thank you very much. That $5,000 Saks gift card just steamrolls over your morals. You know what I mean? It just completely changes how you feel about everything, okay? Quote for curtains from the guest apartment. All right. Hi, Rich. Jeffrey wanted me to send you this, a quote for curtains for our guest apartment. Okay. Karina's in a cab and we'll be here in like 5 minutes. So I don't have time to look through 8. I didn't think there was 8,000. I thought there was just going to be 50 of these, but it's saying up here there's 8,000. 8,000. Thank you so much for your gift, girls. Love it. So nice of you. Please say thanks as well. I don't have her email. What do we get, Karina? Yeah. Hi, Karina. Jeffrey had asked that I look into Phantom of the Opera tickets for your birthday. Did you want me to give you a date you'd like to go? Just crazy. All right, it's crazy. So look, we could dig into this for hours and hours and hours, I suppose. There's a bunch of these. Oh my gosh. It's just never ending. All of these emails relate to his girlfriend. So if we just got his entire Gmail. All right, well look, this wasn't actually what I was planning to dig into, okay? This wasn't my original thing I was going to dig into, but look, let's dig into some of the other links that I've got and we could return to that Gmail. Or some of you brave souls, some of you researchers, some of you open source intelligentsias could go and dig into that, okay? But look, this is another email, okay, from Karina, longtime girlfriend. It says, just got this email from my brother, can't open it on my computer. And so some people have suggested that this is actually the email where he's first being offered Karina or to be connected with her. Some people have said it could be a different person with the same name, but this is essentially an email that was sent. It said, Svetik, hi, the girl's name is Karina. She's from Kaliningrad. She's 180 centimeters tall and she's ready to work. Please write me the name of your agency. Now, there's some interesting factoids about her here. It says, from what I've seen around, it's most likely she's from Belarus, although this says Kaliningrad, but I think this is around the first time she gets introduced. It was mentioned sometime in 2011 when they first met. I'm not sure who's messaging regarding a brother. Surely it wasn't just a girlfriend if Jeffrey Epstein was sleeping around, helping with the tuition, etc. See from website and lots of other articles about her. Now, there's a Daily Mail article about her I'd like to read. Some Epstein files data sets there. It says some initial thoughts Epstein has, it seems, Features redaction not well done. So she should have been 20 at the time if she's 36 now, and she met Jeffrey Epstein around 2010, 2011. You can find a lot of correspondence shortly after in 2011. So second edit, I don't know why his assistant would want Karina, who was so jealous and was known as the inspector, to know about or be reminded of Svetlana, who also goes by Selena P, and other names, which is loosely present in the second document. Okay, saying Epstein LinkedIn versus real life. Also pointed out by Rapper Mowgli, this email, and she goes by Karina, English translation. So it's Karina with a Y, or she's got a Karina, Karina, as the English version. Third edit from Azad, she was a dental student, visited New York City in 2009, met a guy whose teeth she worked on and hit it off, stayed in email contact with him while she went back to Belarus, found out he had a girlfriend, so she cut him off, moved to New York City in summer of 2010. Okay, people saying you need to check this mail that she sent him. She's basically refusing, and this is the mail I've already shown you, that I just showed you. She's basically refusing him, buying her a new life. I don't know what changed since, but 2 months later, she changed her mind and accepted. Also, his answer is crazy. He forwarded her mail to a friend, I think, and said, well, I guess she reads the press. Wild, okay? Some people are saying it's definitely not her. There are emails from Karina in 2009. She visited New York City and got the desire to move there. She moved to New York City in summer of 2010. Met Epstein in April 2011. She was a dental student in Belarus before moving. Her 4 years in Minsk University are on record. People saying she moved in 2010. They're saying, correct, my autistic itch has been researching her in the files as I feel she's the most interesting person that needs to be interviewed about Epstein. Jmail doesn't have dataset 9 live, so there are missing emails in 2009 and 10 for sure, but she was a dental student and visited New York in 2009, met a guy whose teeth she worked on and hit it off. We already saw that underneath. So it's interesting. I think the Jeremy guy was a pen pal at first. I wonder why she visited, then went back home and moved again later. She definitely has answers, but I also feel due to Epstein's help, she's become quite obsessed and protective of him. I'll add it to the main post. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is some initial thoughts. We already saw that. It says we kill. That's not right. People saying it's another Karina. Maybe I just found this out. Why? I don't know why his assistant would want Karina to know about Svetlana. We've already seen that. But anyway, should we have a look at some of this stuff that's been linked? So apparently, in response to that, which was the email basically saying she's 180 centimeters, is her name, etc. Apparently, he replied, "Great body, face okay, face card's out, but the body's rocking." Jeffrey Epstein, man, what a fucking guy. Now, this is a message from 2014, where Leslie Groff, apparently somebody involved in the situation. Leslie Groff actually being Jeffrey Epstein's executive assistant. Okay, longtime executive assistant to Jeffrey Epstein, named as a co-conspirator in the 2007 non-prosecution agreement and suspected co-conspirator in 2019 after his death. Okay, basically, several survivors have sued Groff following Epstein's self-deletion, but litigation was dropped either after receiving a settlement from the Epstein estate or after Maxwell was sentenced to prison. A federal criminal investigation to Groff ended in 2021 with no charges. And as of 2026, Groff denies any wrongdoing. But interestingly enough, the executive assistant emailed Jeff to say, Jeffrey, I might have slipped up. I was speaking with Karina/Rich about howing the house. Karina asked if pictures need to come down. As I contemplating who I can ask, I said, I don't know who to call. Suze equals S as in South Africa. Svet is in Moscow or Paris. I don't know if Karina really paid attention, but I wanted you to know. She's basically saying, slipped up and mentioned another woman that was involved. I believe Svetlana is what's being talked about there. There was another post going around. This one was linked. So I don't know if this is related. My brother's recent girlfriend, Solana P. Julia met the girl, Irina Ichka. She's kind of a promoter, Cassie Stevens. I don't know if this is related, but they're saying that these are like, these are set up chicks that Epstein was hooking people up with, basically. The woman that is apparently a KGB agent that Epstein set up with at least 2 guys referenced by her in the emails, Mr. B and Mr. G. Here are some of the more interesting ones I found about how Epstein directed her. Okay, that's not really relevant to what we're talking about here. We've already shown this one, which is the email where Karina basically turned down the offer of being involved in Jeffrey Epstein's sordid lifestyle, eventually did turn around and say yes. So I believe these emails are something to do with that guy that apparently Karina, before she was with Jeffrey Epstein, she came to New York in 2009 and worked on somebody's teeth, took a liking to him. This is the back and forth with them. So this is basically, I guess, I guess the guy that she was with before Epstein, or just, I don't know, some kind of connection, said, "Hi, Jeremy, it's Karina. How are you? How are your teeth feeling after cleaning?" He said, "Hi, Karina, it's great to hear from you. My teeth are feeling super clean. Thanks for your gentle touch." Smiley face. Smooth. Would you be interested in seeing the city with me next Saturday, August the 8th? We could go to the museum Dr. Malik was talking about. What do you think? She said, "I would go with pleasure. Thank you." Smiley face. As I remember, he told you about the Museum of Natural History, right? How long are you here in New York? You know it well already. Okay, should have stuck with Jeremy Stifler. And so, interestingly enough, this is apparently, okay, the leaked email of her basically breaking up with Jeremy Stifler, all right? Bruh, like, should have stayed with this dude, man. I don't know much about this guy. But basically, this is their correspondence. This is her basically breaking his heart and basically him replying. So she basically messaged him, said, "Hi, Jeremy. Now I understand what happened and why you don't write me anymore. I've just seen your page on Facebook. It's hard to describe what I feel. Of course, it's so understandable that you have a girlfriend, but when I didn't know everything was different, everything was like in a pink light. I'm sorry for writing you all this." So I guess maybe I had a girlfriend, I didn't know that. "But I can't keep it inside anymore. I have never even told a 1/10th part about all these words to any man that I write you, but now I want to, and I even don't care what you'd think about it now. The very short time I spent with you was like a miracle, from your first hi to your last glance, when you smiling was looking at me while I was going away. And since I was gone, there's no day when I haven't think of you. I was thinking of you so much, too much. I knew it was different with you. That's why you can't imagine what I feel. And all this time I was cherishing a hope in my mind that one day I'll see you again. I know it was stupid, and many times I've told myself that I should stop. Moreover, I didn't even know if I'd be able to come to the US, but I believed. And what is the most funny is now I'm already waiting for my visa. I even talked to Dr. Malik almost every day about the job, and I was waiting for this spring for so long, because in springtime is running very fast, and soon the summer will be. But today, everything changed. Jeremy, you're a very bright person. I can't wish you anything except happiness. I hope you're happy." And then Jeremy Stifler, all right, the big dog, all right, the guy that she should have stuck with, he replied, said, "Karina, I'm so sorry that I hurt you. Due to our age difference and you being halfway across the world, it would not have worked. You're a wonderful woman, and the man who gets your attention is going to be very fortunate." Don't know about that. He will be swinging from the rafters in in a New York City jail cell. So not too fortunate. You're a wonderful woman, and the man who gets your attention is going to be very fortunate. Cap. I have met a woman I feel is very compatible with me and someone that I like very much. I hope you will not hurt for long. There are many, many wonderful men in the world, and I hope you too will find happiness. God bless, and I'll keep you in my prayers. Many, many wonderful men in the world, and you ended up with the king PDF. How sad it worked out. But I have no sympathy for her. I have no sympathy for propping up an absolute disgustor. So this is another email correspondence of her apparently making her way downtown to the United States after having her heart broken by Jeremy Stifler. Okay, basically she replied to an ad, basically asking about having a room, occupancy, sharing with 2 males and 1 female who speaks French from Europe, $480 rent. Okay, very reasonable rent. And she replied, "I'm interested in renting the room ASAP. I'm a 21-year-old female international student, full-time employed as a dental assistant. Please email me or call Karina." Okay. So that is a pretty crazy backstory to how this ended up happening, right? She could have made her way being Jeremy Stifler's side piece. She ended up with one of the most despicable men in human history. Sad how it all worked out. Now, I want to show you a long Daily Mail article about her, okay, because this is going to give us a little bit more interesting insight as we begin to build a picture of kind of like everything to do with these guys' relationship, because there's only so much that we can glean. And I haven't had time to go through the 8,000 emails, but if you're interested in this, I could dig deeper. But let's have a look at this Daily Mail article, okay? This is only from a couple of days ago, right? But it's very interesting. It says, inside Epstein's obsession with brunette immigrant that he molded into Ivy League dentist. Not enough kisses, not enough time, not enough sex. Ooh la la, all right? I just think if she'd have just stuck with Jeremy Stifler, like the world would have been a better place. So, all right. Let's get into it. She's the Eastern European immigrant who captivated the world's most notorious pervert so completely that he promised her 4 of his Lux homes and a cash bequest of $50 million. Jeffrey Epstein helped her secure a spot in an Ivy League university, gifted her a stunning 33-carat diamond ring, took her to meet academics as she led a charmed life a world away from her upbringing in the former Soviet Republic of Belarus. But who is Karina Shuliaak, the 36-year-old dentist who, after Ghislaine Maxwell had left his orbit, was the closest to the PDF financier? She was his lover, as shown in exclusive photos unearthed by the Daily Mail from the latest tranche of Epstein files released by the Department of Justice, where Epstein places his hand on her left breast as he embraces her in a fiery dance. She was his organizer, arranging for his favorite bath mat to be sent to his New Mexico ranch, from his New Mexico ranch to his Paris apartment, or making sure he was stocked up on his favorite strawberry-flavored probiotic drink, and organizing his daily item list. And she was his confidant, the last voice he heard from outside the New York prison where he hanged himself in 2019. All right. I need to know if Jeremy Stifler's still alive, because I'm hoping he didn't go out this sad. Everyone turned their back on him after prison and denounced him as an antichrist, one source told the Daily Mail. Even his closest friends, no one stayed with him except Karina, who was there until the very last moment, which wasn't there, was she? So that's apparently him dancing the night away with Karina, all right? Never before seen images of Jeffrey Epstein's last girlfriend, Karina Shuliaak, have been revealed by the Daily Mail as part of the 3 million documents released by the Department of Justice. It didn't really get revealed by the Daily Mail, but we'll give them this one. Should we have a quick look through the pictures before I keep going with the article? That's them having a little dance. She does, to me, she looks like Mr. Beast girl, I'm not going to lie, with a different hair, maybe a wig, all right? Maybe when this didn't work out and Jeremy Stifler wasn't available, maybe she went linked up with Jimmy Donaldson, dyed the hair. I'm joking. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't send them hitters at me, Mr. Beast. This is them. See, she looks so much like Mr. Beast girl in this one. But anyway, Shuliaak, an immigrant from Belarus, stuck by Epstein's side until the day that he took his life inside of his cell in August 2019. Look at this pervert. How could you even possibly love this face? It's disgusting. It's melted. He looks like a melted wax figure. Madame Tussauds on a summer's day, and the AC's broken. So Shuliak's loyalty paid off because Epstein wanted to leave her $50 million in his will, along with multiple real estate properties and a 33-carat diamond ring. So this says bequests. I make the following, this is from his will, I make the following general bequests. So Karina Shuliaak, if she survives me, $50 million. The fact he had 50 M's just to dish out to numerous people, Darren Keith Indyke, got 50 mil. Someone else, Richard David Kane or something, Richard David something, got 25 mil. She got 50 mil in addition to said bequest. As soon as practicable after my death, the trustees are directed to purchase an annuity for the benefit of Karina Shuliaak from a reputable financial institution in the amount of $50 million, which annuity shall be payable monthly for the life of her. Upon the death of her, the trustees shall distribute the remaining principal balance of said annuity and any income pro rata to the beneficiaries listed in Article 2, Section 3, in the same percentage that their initial request bears. She was made for life. It's my intention to fund a separate trust for her prior to my death. In the event that a separate trust is created and funded for me, by me for her, then the amount bequeathed by this section shall be reduced by the amount of principal conveyed by me to the separate trust. 50 M's. 50 M's. And so I've seen this video of him dancing. I didn't know that was with her, so let's refresh our memory on this one. He's got some trash moves, by the way, as well. Can't dance for shit. No rhythm. Absolute trash. This is some kids bop ass dancing. All fun and games until your man is swanging. Anyway, Shuliaak came to the United States when she was 20 and Epstein was 47. Okay. Photos show her on what appears to be Epstein's plane nicknamed the Lolita Express. Flight logs show she traveled regularly with him. Is that a Hermes blanket? She reaping the rewards. A set of redacted photos released by the Department of Justice show Epstein and Shuliaak dancing. He grabs her from behind and places his hand on her left breast as they sway. He was swaying at the end. Apparently, he was swaying from left to right until they pulled him down. But anyway, as they part ways, Epstein's top 2 shirt buttons are undone and he's staring at the floor. He's a mess. He's a disgusting mess. So among the images obtained by the Daily Mail is a photo of Shuliaak sitting in a meeting at Harvard with Epstein's academic friends, including famed linguist Noam Chomsky on the right. Look at this beard. Whoever this guy is, he in the wrong room. But he got the right beard. I'm trying to get like him. And so she's just there chilling, sitting, contemplating. So this, wow, I don't know this one. Things between them were not always smooth. Epstein lashed out at her for making it hard for him to understand her concerns, including her annoyance that they had not had sex in a week. Oh my God, this is from Jeffrey to her in 2013. Today was a good illustration of the difficulty I have to fully understand your concerns. 1. You complained that for the whole week we didn't have sex. I arrived Monday, you arrived after school Tuesday, you came after your school, I had a biz dinner. Wednesday we went to Williamsburg, and Thursday I left at 8 after meeting since 5:30 after not taking the initiative on your own. I explained that I would now train it. I would take an hour or more each time. It would take an hour or more each time. We didn't have any real time, but that fact gets drowned in your complaints. And over the previous weekend, I repeatedly said how difficult the next few weeks would be. Also, that gets lost. 2, you didn't get the only thing you asked for your birthday. Thursday is not Friday. Okay. And 3, we don't have enough sex. 4, you always comment about older women. It makes me insecure. Wait. You always comment about older women. It makes me insecure. 5, you told me you don't like toys. 6, you told me not to do yoga. 7, I can't go to school because of how you made me feel and look. 8, I had a bad dream about ... 9, when you tell me these things, what is the point? You just make me feel bad. 10, yes, you tell me many times a day how much you love me, but you said that Jessica was 35. How does that make me feel? I know it's difficult to be apart. I would ask that you try and stop complaining about things, and that if something bothers you, let's just try and make it better. I love you. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with that. That's crazy. All right, what else we got? Shuliaak was described as fiercely loyal and was known as the Inspector because of her snooping on Epstein. Should have snooped harder, really. Should have snooped harder. Flight records show Shuliaak traveled in March 2014 with an itinerary listing her check-in details and assigned tasks for Epstein on a flight from New York to Little St. James in the Virgin Islands. Assigning tasks Sue to bring DVDs and put in Jeffrey Epstein's bag. What DVDs? Pack J.E.'s personal bag. You went from packing J.E.'s personal bag to J.E. being in a pack. That is kind of funny. So it says Epstein covered Shuliaak's expenses. A 2014 email from Epstein's accountant asked Shuliaak to confirm charges on her credit card for the month. They included $173.11 and $84.38 at Bloomingdale's in New York, followed by another $616.59 at the same store. So I guess she was splashing the cash at Bloomingdale. She was getting a gift card at Saks. She was mud walking through Neiman's by the sounds of it. Sources previously told the Daily Mail that Shuliaak handled dental work for Epstein. His teeth were trash. His teeth were garbage, so she clearly was not training hard enough. And other young women in his orbit, so she was fixing the other young thing's teeth. That's disgusting, right? With him installing a dental setup for her at his Caribbean home. Really had her playing dentist in the crib. That's crazy. Fully equipped dental cart, complete with what appeared to be drills, a lamp, and other instruments, was also installed at Epstein's Palm Beach home beneath a nude sketch of Ghislaine Maxwell. Wait, what? Where? Inside Epstein's mansion. Let's not do that today. Epstein hired Ada Bezcards, a New York-based immigration lawyer, to help Shuliaak obtain her first green card and then U.S. citizenship. He cooked it up. I need to get myself a Jeffrey Epstein so I can get that green card, baby. Anyway, okay. We already saw this. So it said, clearly Epstein cared deeply for Shuliaak and the feeling was mutual. He hired an immigration lawyer to get her U.S. citizenship, which came through in 2018, just a year before his second and final arrest. Last minute, Hail Mary, before he became a pack. That is clear from the staggering amount that he intended to leave her. He wanted her to receive his $27.5 million Zorro ranch in New Mexico, absolute creep fest, his $10 million Paris apartment, his 2 private islands in the US Virgin Islands, which were eventually sold for a combined $60 million, as well as his New York townhouse, which went for $51 million. Most intriguing of all was another bequest, a 33-carat diamond ring flanked by baguette-cut diamonds mounted in platinum, which he viewed as an engagement band. In pen, Epstein wrote, prior to the execution of the trust agreement I had given Karina Shuliaak, the diamond ring described below in contemplation of marriage. Their intimate relationship and messages with Epstein's close confidants have even led to speculation that she might have had his child. Gross. Gross. Another little PDF running around these streets. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. A message allegedly sent by Sarah Ferguson, the former Duchess of York and ex-wife of Prince Andrew, appears to congratulate him on the birth of a baby boy. Don't know if you're still on this BBM, but I heard from the Duke that you had a baby boy, she wrote. Even though you never kept in touch, I'm still here with love, friendship, and congratulations on your baby boy. And while Sarah didn't mention Shuliaak, there is no evidence to support any claim she had a child with Epstein. She was seen as the most likely person to be the mother, given her closeness to him. Crazy. When reached on the phone, Epstein's brother Mark denied that the PDF had a baby, and there was no mention of a child in his will. My brother did not have a child, he told the Daily Mail. Shuliaak won't get everything Epstein willed her. His estate was sold off to fund a compensation fund to his victims, which paid out $121 million to settle their claims. Good. Fuck her. She shouldn't get any money from this dirtbag. Facts. Like, that's just, I'm getting riled up even. I've been looking into this disgusting, depraved shit for days. She deserves nothing. That's how I say it. Anyway, however, there's still around 127 million left in the estate. This guy didn't create anything. He didn't invest in anything good. He didn't even understand finances that well. Him talking about fractional reserve banking, people are talking like, oh, because he knows what fractional reserve banking is. He's some financial genius. Give me a break. All right. This guy didn't do anything of value, didn't bring anything to the world, didn't invent anything. He is a lame-o. How did he still have 127 million in the estate? It's a disgrace, and they need to take that from him. According to the most accounts, meaning that Shuliaak could still get a very handsome payday. For now, she lives in an apartment in Manhattan owned by Mark Epstein. In Epstein's Black Book of Contacts, it was described as the apartment for models. Still living there. She did not respond to requests for comment. Photos unearthed in the new document show moments of intimacy and humor between her and Epstein. The dance sequence of photos shows her in a red top and sweater. We already looked at that. Okay, gross, losers, gross. Already seen all that. She came to the US in 2010 when she was 20 after having struck up a relationship with him. In a string of flirty emails, him using the alias as Vasily and her captain shows him coaching her on how to secure permission to enter the US as a cleaning lady. In one DOJ released email in 2012, she told him, "I love you. You're the purest man out of all men." This woman's barometer of quality men is in the toilet, all right? Is in the toilet, all right? I'm about to... Don't let me find out that Stifler was doing all kinds of criminal matters as well, because this woman has absolutely no barometer of a good man. It says in another, that same year, she wrote, "I love you very much. You will always have me no matter what, as long as it makes you happy. No matter what the allegations." Gross. So this is a string of flirty emails showed her calming influence over his life, encouraging him to concentrate on the time they spent together rather than talking about their relationship. She said, "I love you very much. I would greatly appreciate if instead of counting days, hours, or minutes together, we concentrated on making the time we spend less stressful, more fun. I spent two or three of the last 10 explaining, soothing, calming, explaining again, and answering questions. Not enough kisses, not enough time, not enough sex. Why this, why that, why did you... Not why this, why that, did you, why did you?" Interesting. Okay. Clearly things between them weren't always smooth. In 2014, he berated her for not balancing her schoolwork with her personal obligations. "You have a visa to deal with, medical to update, dental office here is a pigsty. Your apartment is a limbo. The apartments at 301 are a disgrace. And every day I hear how you have no time, though real people have work, a family life responsibility, and rarely put a school patient in front of serious issues. No time to eat. You're in dental school, not the front lines of a war where people are dying," he wrote. His disapproval seems at time to have rattled her. "You have absolutely ruined me today. Each minute I am struggling not to cry," she wrote in one email. Okay. Now, I think we already looked at this one where he basically explained them not hooking up. This is her saying he's ruined her, not in the good kind of way. So strangely, for a man who allegedly claimed to need 3 orgasms a day, that's rookie numbers, really. I'm joking. Their sex life also left her wanting, with Shuliaak complaining that in 2013 that for the whole week we didn't have sex. Love for Epstein came with considerable baggage. No shit. That's the understatement of a century. Love for Epstein came with considerable baggage. Literally the biggest understatement you could possibly make, including the fact that he had served 15 months in prison in 2008 and became a registered S offender, then continued to abuse young girls afterward. Sources told Daily Mail that Shuliaak was fiercely loyal and known as the Inspector because of her snooping on him. In one email string, she ordering a 3-tome educational series called Oral Sex for Couples. Wow. I mean, at least she was doing her homework. Epstein listed Shuliaak as his emergency contact when filling out paperwork for doctor's appointments, describing her as a friend. Her loyalty was repaid by him making several donations to and arranging meetings with the head of Columbia University's dental program to help ease her way, I guess that's supposed to say, into securing an externship and residency. Finessed it in every way, shape, and form. Emails show how she consulted with him all the way through application process, running her answers on the questionnaire by him for edits, with Epstein paying the way. She graduated in 2015, and when Epstein tried to secure her a job in dental office in the Virgin Islands, documents show she later went on to attend a postdoctorate dental program in Columbia, from which she graduated last May. Okay, so I was wrong when I said earlier that she'd only just passed. I guess that was a postdoctorate, so she was already qualified. She was allowed to touch people's teeth. Okay, yada, yada, yada. All right, got it. So this says, sources have previously told the Daily Mail that it wasn't just Epstein's teeth that he'd like to have her fix. She would also work on other girls in his life too. Pictures released showed he had dental chairs in at least 2 of his homes. Another way Epstein rewarded Shuliak's loyalty was paying for her expenses. From January through to November 2014, she racked up nearly $295,000 in purchases on one credit card. They included frequent trips to a dermatologist. This guy's a creep, by the way. Fuck it, I can't even put that on the screen. Frequent trips to a dermatologist, regular hair, nail, and massage appointments, shopping sprees at Bloomingdale's, and daily tabs at cafes and restaurants. Must be nice. Okay. This is her trying to get her citizenship, her getting her fingerprints done, blah, blah, blah. Someone with a dog. Not that interesting. It's citizenship interview. Basically, she'll be a citizen from that day forward. So if she wants to leave the US after May 30th, she should immediately apply for a US passport after the ceremony. Now, I believe there is actually a claim that there was a dodgy wedding, but I'm going to get to that later, okay? It says, perhaps in the ultimate sugar daddy move, Epstein also supported Shuliak's parents, regularly sending $20,000 to $25,000 a month to them in Belarus and covering her mother's medical treatments for breast cancer. He also set the mother up with her own credit card, and Epstein hired Ada Buscardez, a New York-based immigration lawyer, to help Shuliak obtain her first green card and then U.S. citizenship. In text released by the Department of Justice, Buscardez told Epstein that Shuliak's appointment to have her fingerprints taken as part of the immigration process came through in February 2018. Then 3 months later, she was naturalized. Buscardez wrote to Epstein, she's now an American. You should throw her a big old party with a mechanical bull, red, white, blue balloons, and deep-fried Snickers bars on flag toothpicks. Also revealed in the DOJ files, a flight log showing that Shuliak flew on dozens of flights with Epstein during her time with him, including to numerous places in the US. That included his final flight from Paris to New York in August 2019 when FBI agents met him on the ground and arrested him right in front of her. Deserved, okay? So they was whisking themselves around the world to Paris, having a great time, and when they landed at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey, she got to witness the last look at this absolute clown show getting arrested, okay? Brilliant. It's what she deserves, okay? Anyway, I'll show you some other stuff that's been going around about her on Reddit. Basically, okay, there's apparently, all right, allegedly she went on some kind of Asian exploration to find a new girlfriend for Jeffrey. This said, Karina's going on an Asian exploration to Bali, then Kuala Lumpur, and then Tokyo. Can you help her the last 2 places? And then apparently in response to this, she said to Tom Pritzker, I'm going to find a new girlfriend for Jeffrey. All right. People saying could be read 2 ways. She's going to find girls for him, or being his actual girlfriend could just be a response to spite him because she was known to be jealous and lash out, or it could just be sarcasm. People are saying it sounds like a joke, but hey. So weird. I wouldn't put it past him. Now, this was an interesting read. So there was reportedly, okay, a Twitter account that started up where she was basically trying to defend Jeffrey Epstein. Now, apparently this is a hoax and it's not real, but this article kind of gave some interesting extra backstory onto the situation, and essentially people were able to kind of, give their opinion on whether or not this account belonged to her. And they're saying that it's not real. Apparently there's been some new posts really recently where it basically says that, like, she's willing to do an interview. Some people are saying that's fake as well, but let's explore it. This is on the Rebel Journalist. Okay, it says, it's not me. Epstein's former girlfriend, Karina Shuliaak, breaks silence to confirm ex-account is a hoax. Social media users went into a frenzy when an account believed to be owned by Epstein's last girlfriend was suddenly reactivated over the weekend, leading to Alex Jones to request an interview with her. And this was literally, this was today. Wow. Okay, we're really hot on the presses. Okay, so it says the X account Karina Shuliaak has racked up over 20,000 followers since yesterday. However, its owner has suspiciously deleted all historical posts. On Saturday, Karina posted, "After years of silence, the truth: Jeffrey was innocent, trapped by powerful people who silenced him. I was his last confidant, and I have the evidence they're still hiding." Yeah, sure. So the author of this article, shout out to Jay Beecher, the Rebel journalist, go check him out. It says, "During my 5-year investigation into the Epstein scandal for my upcoming book, Naked Lies, I revealed the financier's last jail telephone call before he died in August 2019 was to Shuliaak. She was apparently born in 1991, became publicly known after the death of Epstein due to her relationship with him, and claimed she may have been a significant beneficiary of his estate." So we know about her career as a dentist. We kind of already covered that. We know about him supporting her and, getting the visas, and we've seen all these pictures, all right? So we're pretty up to date on a lot of this stuff, okay? And her getting all this money. But it's really these X posts that are really interesting, okay? So it says, "Today, Shuliaak remains a largely private figure, does not give comment to the press, and has no accounts on social media. That's why I was surprised to wake up this morning to see her name was trending on X, with the Twitter account Karina Shuliaak continuing to post sensationalized comments and garnering widespread attention, something that Shuliaak herself has always sought to avoid. More surprisingly, I saw conspiracy theorist Alex Jones had reached out to her to request an interview." So Alex Jones allegedly said this. I'm out of my depth now. He says, "I appreciate you having the courage to speak, and would very much like to have you on my broadcast ASAP." And she said, "Only if I can say everything without censorship and live on X." So this author of the article said, "I did some digging, and what I found was that the account changed its handle in 2017 before going into a long state of hibernation. Fast forward to now, and the account has suddenly changed its location, the following a subsequent bizarre post that the account has made since yesterday. Says, they sacrificed children to Lucifer. It's an entire cult. Jeffrey got involved in the operation for financial reasons and to obtain compromat, but he never participated in those rituals, right? I never participated in those rituals. Elon Musk isn't in the files. This is Trump's revenge for what Elon tweeted last time, claiming Trump was in the files. He has no choice but to accept it. Then what was evidently a hoax suddenly morphed into an undeniable scam when the account posted this morning asking for crypto donations, okay? Hey, crypto community has created this token to show support for you and what you're going through. It's a way for people to rally behind you and demonstrate that we believe in you. The token represents our solidarity with you during this difficult time. Send me money. I don't have a crypto coin, but if the community wants to support, I'd be happy to accept it. Thanks you. Trump hated Jeffrey and was jealous of him. I know everything about you at Real Donald Trump. As much as everybody hates Trump, the idea that Trump would be jealous of Jeffrey Epstein is one of the most absurd claims you could possibly make, right? Trump and Epstein are on different levels. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Now, it says the account runs a similar grift on Telegram, and on Instagram today, an account appeared also claiming to be Shuliaak. On another post, Karina wrote, warning that Ghislaine Maxwell would be murdered if she tries to speak out, and the post concluded by writing, just like they murdered my husband. This alone should have raised a red flag because they were never married, but ex-users continue to believe the account's claim, with some even making donation. Maybe I should start a crypto coin. Call it the fuck Epstein. Call it the Epstein is a pack. All right, coin. Epstein is a, call it Epstein is a Runstein coin. Anyway, having interviewed a long list of key witnesses for Naked Lies, from Trump's former lawyer to members of the Maxwell family and Epstein's brother to alleged victims and Virginia Giuffre's inner circle, I decided to reach out with someone who I knew was associated with the real Karina Shuliaak. I cannot reveal their name because they don't want to be the target of the media's ongoing frenzied harassment. I would say ongoing justified investigation, but okay. My source put me in touch with Shuliaak, and while she declined to be interviewed, she agreed for me to release the following comment from her. So this actually is an official comment from her. So she has actually officially broken her silence. She is actually speaking. Okay. She said, it's not me. I have no account on X. The account claiming to be me, Karina Shuliaak, is in not any way associated with me and is unauthorized. I have no online presence because I wish to protect my privacy. Just like you protected that PDF scumbag boyfriend. But anyway, she didn't say that last bit. Case easily solved. All right, this isn't the first time that crooked individuals have perpetuated hoaxes to financially benefit from the Epstein scandal, along with false accusers coming forward to attempt to collect compensation payouts and press fees in the early days of Ghislaine Maxwell becoming the focus of journalists and prosecutors. A woman named Laura Goldman came out of the shadows and claimed to be Maxwell's close friend and confidant. Goldman was interviewed as Maxwell's spokesman of sorts, appearing on Piers Morgan's show on GMB and ITV, and her statements, mostly paid for by journalists and producers, far more focused on putting out clickbait headlines than carrying out basic fact-checking. checking were published across the world. Then it was revealed that Goldman, like the account owner of the fake Karina Shuliaak account, was a charlatan. Goldman, in fact, had no friendship with Ghislaine, no communication, was outed as a serial fabulist. What a word. Okay, you can read more about Goldman's story here. Maybe we'll do that in another video. Should we do that in another video? Let's learn about that in a whole other video, shall we? Just making a note to do that in another video. I think that would be good. In the meantime, please do not be foolish enough to donate to Karina Shuliaak or anyone falsely claiming to be her. Even if it was really her, don't donate to her, right? Because she's a scumbag, right? Literally, fuck her. Okay, screw her. Now, there's been a few articles and things about her that I just don't know if I want to get into in this video. But basically, there's a few Reddit posts that maybe I'll react to and then I'll wrap it up. I don't want to go for longer than an hour on this topic. But basically, okay, she was seen shopping in New York after his death. A little COVID mask on her there. And basically, people saying she worked for him. They're saying nap her. I don't know. I couldn't condone that. Okay. But what's interesting, I saw this comment earlier. People saying, sure, not a victim groomed to help. And people saying, not sure. Her story has similarities to allegations made by a Caitlin Doe. Specifically, in or about 2013, Jeffrey Epstein told plaintiff that he needed Associate 3, a non-US citizen and recruiter of females for Jeffrey Epstein, to obtain a permanent United States residence so that she could remain in the country and work for him. The ceremony included not only signing the necessary legal paperwork prepared by Associate 4, but also posing for photographs to give the appearance that the marriage was legitimate. Jeffrey Epstein also promised to provide plaintiff a permanent place to live if she would marry and live with Associate 3 in one of his apartments located in New York. This is from the article above. Shuliaak took part in a same-sex marriage to Jennifer Kalin, another of Epstein's associates, in October 2013. One exception in the Caitlin Doe suit being that the divorce dates aren't the same, and I think there were other cases of him fixing same-sex marriages for females he wanted to gain US citizenship for. People are saying she's way too old now. But that's crazy. This is another Daily Mail article. So this has got a lot of the information that we've already kind of covered in the video. But this were some exclusive pictures that were circulated in 2020, so just over a year after her boyfriend was turned into runts. And basically, it said these Daily Mail had exclusive pictures offering the first glimpse of Shuliaak's furtive existence since then. Dressed casually in white shorts and a lilac polo shirt with her long brown hair pulled back into a loose ponytail, nothing about Shuliaak's low-key appearance suggests the world of wealth and depravity in which she once moved. Shuliaak spent close to an hour inside a nutritional health store in New York's Upper East Side before browsing the aisles of a nearby pharmacy and purchasing toiletries, including hair care products. Photos taken last week showed. There she is. She's not looking as good as she used to, if I'm honest with you. Okay, and this was a report that she was spotted in Manhattan. Okay, we don't need to get into all that, but this is all stuff that we'd seen. She's looking pretty low-key. She spent an hour inside this nutritional health store, masked up. All right, I guess this was during the heart of the vid. Okay, is that a kid? Is that her kid? Is that his kid? Nah, okay, we're not going to do all that. But this looks like a child unaccompanied by anyone else. That's all I'll say. If anyone wants to look into that, go ahead, be my guest. All right. She was spotted only a few blocks away from Epstein's imposing Beaux Arts mansion near Central Park. Okay, she was pictured coming and going from the home on numerous occasions, including exclusive pictures obtained by the Daily Mail back in December 2015 and again in June 2016. Okay, she was plugged in. So the last thing I want to touch on before I wrap this up is the phone call. She was allegedly the last person that Epstein actually talked to before he was turned into, we've used runts a bunch of times, before he was turned into cookies, okay? Before he became an Epstein cookie pack. He's basically the last person that he spoke to. He lied and said, I want to speak to my mother, who she'd been dead for a while. I guess the prison guards just let that one go straight over the head. He apparently spoke to her. She was the last person outside of the jail that he actually spoke to before he was turned into a pack. And essentially, there's a little bit of new information that's come out in the recent Department of Justice Epstein file leaks. Not leaks, but they put them out there, but they maybe put them out there in a way they shouldn't have. But essentially, I wanted to just touch on this and see if there's any sort of new information, okay? Because essentially, okay, the day before he was turned into Skittles, basically he requested to call his mother. It said on August the 9th, 2019, Epstein requested to call his mother, but he hadn't been able to set up his pack and PIN for various reasons, including the fact that he was working with his attorneys during normal hours, which was necessary to place telephone calls. He said that he viewed ensuring inmates having family socializing as being part of his job and would allow inmates to place telephone calls if they were unable to place calls under normal circumstances. Even though his mum's dead, his mum was already in a pack. And little did he know he would be joining his mother. So he, ironically, even though he lied and said that he would be talking to his mother on this phone call, he actually did get to talk to his mother the day after, which was nice for him. So anyway, it said later during that evening around 6:45 p.m., he escorted Epstein from the attorney conference room to the SHU so he could make the call. Put Epstein in the shower area to make a telephone call because guards were present in that area. Said he plugged in the phone to the legal line, which was not recorded, how convenient, and dialed the number that Epstein provided him. Said the decision to have Epstein place this call was his and his alone because he was the duty officer who was representing the warden who wasn't there. He said he didn't recall having a conversation with Captain Blank, and he would have provided the call even if Blank didn't want him to, because that was not a decision for the captain to make. Anyway, he says that after the telephone call was placed, a male answered and Blank handed the receiver to Epstein. Blank said that he heard Epstein say, "Hey, how you doing? How's everything?" He said that after he handed the phone to Epstein, his shift ended. So as soon as he handed the phone to Epstein, ring, shift ended, guess I'm going to leave and not listen to this call. All right, sure, okay. So as soon as he handed the phone to Epstein for this unsecured call, shift ended. Oh, gonna go home. He departed the SHU immediately and left MCC for the day. He said correctional officers Tova Noel Blank, material handler Blank Blank, were in the SHU at the officer's death when he departed and when Epstein was still on the call. He said when he was done departing, he told officers, hey, make sure he gets his 15 minutes, and after that, he's done. Quite literally, he was. He was turned into a pack. He did not provide them with instructions to monitor the call. Oh, great. That's handy, isn't it? He said that Blank from internal was also present, and after he departed, he contacted Noel via telephone, asked her to make sure Epstein's call had ended because his time was up, and his time truly was up. All right, his time was up. He would be speaking to his mother very soon. It said he may have called from within the MCC. He may have called from his vehicle, or he may have called on his way to the train. Blank said that it was proper to have an inmate place a telephone call. Said the proper to have an inmate place a telephone call on an unmonitored line would be to bring the inmate out, put him on a belly chain because then he has to be cuffed at the front, put him on the phone with a counselor or unit team, and put him on a speaker. Blank said he did not stay and monitor the call as he should have. Epstein did not, in fact, speak with his mother, who was dead. He wouldn't speak to her until the next day. Instead, he spoke with Blank Blank. Well, we know who that is now, don't we? We know who that is. Karina Shuliaak. All right. The attorney for Blank Blank, whom he spoke to on August the 9th, spoke with Karina Shuliaak, who confirmed she spoke with Epstein on August the 9th. A proffer was conducted with Blank, the attorney for Blank, whom he spoke with on August the 9th. According to the proffer notes, Blank was located in Belarus. Wonder who? Redacted. And spoke with Epstein at approximately 7 p.m. on August the 9th for approximately 20 minutes. It would be less than 12 hours before he was cold and dead, allegedly. Via telephone number Blank, Epstein told her the press had gotten crazy and they discussed personal things such as books, music, and hygiene while incarcerated. That sounds like it was a sexy call. Epstein said they're trying to keep me safe and said that his came would take a little bit longer than he originally thought. His came? What the fuck? Was he having a nut? Then he told her he loved her, would not be able to call her again for another month, and to be strong, blank, 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 to research number called due to blank, claim, blank, blank, blank. Correctional Officer Blank told the OIG he was not a witness to the call, but said he discussed this telephone matter with Epstein and physically saw Epstein calling documentation that would have allowed him to place a call. Said that prior to that, he was on an elevator with Epstein and his attorney. Epstein asked Blank about getting Epstein his pack and his pin to make calls. And basically... He said he got my call finally. He didn't recall when the conversation took place. He basically finessed it to speak to his girl right at the end. So what's really interesting, okay, is he really finessed it because he said, oh, I didn't have a pin pack. Can you plug me in? But it turns out he did have a pin pack which would have allowed him to place telephone calls, which he personally saw in Epstein's possession. But Epstein informed him he didn't want to utilize it because those calls were monitored. So this was a secret call to his girl, all right? And we don't know to this day what was really said. And she said what was said, but do we believe her? I don't believe her for a fucking second. I don't believe her for a second. She told the cops when she was contacted what the cap, if you ask me. That's just my opinion, all right? Basically, okay, some Blank said he was present during the time of the call, didn't overhear the conversation. Also said that while he was having the call, the correctional officers were distracted by the actions of another inmate. Oh, it's so convenient. There's always something. There's always just some distraction, right? Didn't recall anything. Blank didn't recall seeing Blank, didn't recall seeing Epstein in the shower area that night, didn't recall anything regarding the phone call. He did help Noel feed Epstein, who was fed later. Said Epstein was alone in his cell, was not aware that Epstein was required to have a cellmate. Okay. So look, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I think that was a really interesting deep dive into his depraved girlfriend. I think she has a lot of questions to answer to. It's just my personal opinion. I don't believe her when she says that that's what they discussed on the final phone call. Maybe it was. Maybe he knew. Maybe he knew he was about to check out. Maybe he didn't. Maybe it was a complete coincidence. I really don't know. I wonder whether he called and said, I'm going to come link up with you in Belarus. We're going to fake my death. A lot of people are saying the death was fake. I don't really know at this point, okay? I think this is just getting so depraved. It's just getting ridiculous, and I'm really just losing the will to live even covering this. But if you want to hear more about this, I will keep covering it. I did actually see a comment that touched me because I said in a previous video I wanted to stop talking about this stuff, and I saw somebody commented and said, look, I know you want to stop talking about this, but this is one of the most important stories of our generation, and you're doing a really good job covering it and getting people the truth. And that really touched me. So that made me think, you know what, I'm not going to stop covering this. If you guys want to keep hearing about it, I'm going to keep covering it, and I will keep doing Epstein videos. I've got 3 more that I want to do tomorrow. I might even do another one tonight. It's actually later than I thought, and this video was longer than I thought. But thank you so much for watching and trusting me as your news source. I will catch you guys in the next video. I love being alive. See you then. Peace.